Hello, ladies and gentlemen, here with us. We got a very, very special guest tonight. Got the partner channel to this channel, if you will. He's helped us from day one. He's showed us a whole lot about the internet and how to use the tools and do all this cool stuff. So a man that needs no introduction. He goes live every single night. Ladies and gentlemen, it is UNIROCK. How you doing, Uni?
Good, bro. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. Just chilling like a villain.
Happy to have you here, man. It's been long overdue.
For sure.
So one thing I would like to start off with, I want to show something to everybody. I took some video yesterday. Do a quick screen share here. If it'll pull up my toolbox, there we go. And I caught a really amazing, something that I haven't seen in quite a while myself, and pretty sure some of you haven't either. So give me just a second to get it pulled up and full screened here. There we go. Can you see, guys? Can you see Oni?
Oh, yeah. It looks good.
Excellent. Go ahead and hit play. Hi, guys. Darkwolf here. Just wanted to show you all this old blue sky. Something we don't get to see very often anymore. One of the most beautiful sights in the world. A true blue sky. No chemtrails, nothing at this moment. I'm sure that'll change pretty soon. But
that is right crazy. Now, no chemtrails.
Right? It's just something we don't see very often. All right, and what I'm going to do, I do have this up on YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and release this for the public.
Cool.
Today, I actually went outside to do some more video, and phone was dying, so I wasn't able to, but there's chemtrails in the skies today, so that didn't take long.
Yeah, have you seen the video where a pilot says, okay, let's turn on the chemtrails, and then he hits a button and it says it literally in the plane has this little thing that says chemtrails on, and it shows the engines and the chemtrails are just pumping out.
Really?
Yeah. I just watched it actually yesterday. Yeah, pretty crazy.
Hey, go ahead and link me onto that if you would.
Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, it's weird, man. And it's a little, that little like data set thing that it's like a little screen. It looks like an old Game Boy screen almost. It's like green and white. And at the bottom, it says chemtrail, and it set off. And he goes, hold on, and flips a switch, and it just starts pumping out the chemtrail. Let me find it. Pilot turns chemtrail on and off. Oh, dude, it came right up when I started talking. That video didn't, but here it is.
What blows my mind about this while you're pulling that up is the fact that if you look up chemtrails in Google, it will say the chemtrail conspiracy, even though it's been fully proven not to be a conspiracy.
Oh, for sure. That's how they, that's how they get us. They act like everything's a conspiracy. They've turned the word conspiracy into something that crazy people do,
Right.
Oh no, is this it? It shows the cockpit in the video that I had. I guess it's not this one. Rachel, if you know where that video is, wait, it might be. Did you send it to me, Rachel?
Which one?
The chemtrail thing where the pilot turns the chemtrail on and off. Someone sent it to me.
Yeah,
you did?
me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I've got it. Oh yeah, right here, chemtrail. Okay. Let me grab it. And I'll send it right to you.
Excellent.
It is creepy. Oh yeah. The only thing that sucks about this video is the music. It's just a bunch of really bad music. But if you mute it, you'll get the whole vibe. But the pilot admits it. He's just straight says, yeah, here, want to see? And he flips them on. I'm watching it right now. Let me see. I'll take a screenshot too. Oh yeah, there it is. Chemtrail Gen. It says chem-trail _gen_ dash on or off, and he flips it to on. It's so creepy.
So they've got a button in the cockpit for this.
Yep, I'm sending you. I'm gonna put a screenshot up for you really quick so that you can see it. As soon as I've just grabbed the screenshot and it's processing out now, bam. Let me pull it over here. There it is. Okay, so let me I'll go ahead and drop you this file really quick, but I can also just, oh, you can see it on my screen. I don't know if you can pull my screen up and see it. It's right there. It's this spot right there. Kim Trail Jen. It's said off and he flips it on, and then like a couple seconds later, you know, I'll upload this to my channel here in a little bit, and that way everybody can like watch it that hasn't seen it. I thought everybody'd seen this.
That's the first I'd actually seen it myself. I knew there's a video out there, but I hadn't actually watched it myself.
Crazy stuff.
So, how did you get into being a YouTuber? How did it all start?
Video games. I know that a lot of people don't believe that, but the first 5 channels on UNIROCK are video game videos. One of them went viral on Twitter. It got a lot of views on Twitter, like thousands and thousands. But when I uploaded it to YouTube, it immediately got like 1,500 or something views. So I pretty much right away applied for, well, not right away. So I sat there for a bit and I didn't even look at my YouTube. I just said, I'll upload more video games later. So I did a couple more videos, and then, I don't know, maybe 6 months later when I looked back and saw that the video did well, I thought, what if I can monetize my channel? And I tried it, and it immediately approved me. And I was like, well, shit, now I can start making videos of these, you know, conspiracies. Because I'd always tell my family and friends about the conspiracies that I watched. Like, dude, you got to see this UFO video. Dude, you got to fucking here, listen to this, man. I found this out about, whatever. And I'd sit and talk about it with everybody for, you know, every single one of my friends. And if I saw another friend, I'd have to restart. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do a video. So I started making the videos of like the good UFO sightings. And then, you know, I stumbled upon the Mandela effect, and it trended. And my whole thing was talking about trending conspiracies. So when the Mandela effect trended, of course, I would do things that I thought were relevant in it and theories in it. And then same with UFOs, same with chemtrails, same with, you know, a lot of the ancient stuff and ancient religion. I did a lot of that kind of stuff too. And the ancient astronaut theory, but
love the ancients.
Oh, for sure. But, you know, like I don't buy in. Okay. So I've lived on the street, you know, I've told everybody on my channel at one point I was, I started abusing pills, and I've always been like a punk when I was younger until I went in the military. So I was always going to parties. I was always going to concerts and music festivals, and whoever's house had the party we would go to when I was young. And so, I mean, like, I'm streetwise. I know that people lie through their teeth. Not everybody, but a lot of people. They don't even have this inherent moral value that they should speak the truth. They should take a second before they talk and analyze if they're telling a story, if they're thinking about the past, if they're thinking about something that they're telling somebody, if they're presenting information. They should definitely think before they speak and try to be honorable, try to say the truth, because it's easy to lie. It's like the world's made easy that way. So I never went into my channel ever just believing something unless there was a little bit of video, there was a little bit of evidence. And I just kind of was like every other sheeple, though. Like, I believed the UFO channels, even though, like, I watched Secure Team 10 and I'd make Rachel watch him, and she said, that dude's full of shit. And I'd get mad at her, like, no, he's not. Watch him, he's cool. But yeah, I met Alien Addict, and I saw that, you know, in my head, I was thinking there are good people out there. People don't just inherently lie all the time. Like, the majority of people are good. There's only a few liars. And then really quickly, I realized that I at least felt that way about people that made videos. I have no clue why. But, you know, Alien Addict kind of got me street smart to YouTube. Because in the military, they brainwashed me, and I thought everybody was cool and nice. And, you know, I was around a bunch of people that were fighting for their country and being patriotic and trying to be honorable. So, you know, I was just so blind. But quickly I realized that every single person on the internet is so quick to just see an article, see a story, and make a video on it. you know, and not even caring if they're presenting false information or if it's bad for the people that are watching it, you know, never asking themselves the question of like, is this true or real? It's just, oh, someone claimed it. It makes it okay. And even I was like that for a while. You can see a complete evolution in my stuff. But, you know, now I sit into the realm where like, you know, even with the new stuff I've been looking at, I don't believe only half of what I hear and or whatever that old adage is, believe half of what you see or none of what you hear or some shit. I have to have like the video has to be verified. So I had to learn video editing. I had to learn Photoshop and production and all those things so that I could analyze videos and make sure they were real so that I could present real stuff to people and, you know, call out people when they were false. And it was a really it's been a crazy journey, man. Like even up to like the last few months where I haven't talked to you too much, you know, I've met a lot of bigger YouTubers. I've worked with a lot of bigger YouTubers, and I will say that only a few have come out in the end to be honorable and actually trying to, you know, instead of chasing views, which some people will accuse me of that, but I honestly, there's so many other things I could do to get views. I mean, it's just kind of evident in my old stuff, you know, like my, you know, go ahead. Sorry. I'm blabbing.
No problem. You know, it used to be a lot easier to get views before YouTube AI algorithms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just changed it again too.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, like last week or so. I saw my traffic in one night. And so, I mean, you can tell when something messed up happens in your analytics. You know, we have a whole team here that is my friends and family. You know, it's not like I hire people. I'm not rich. I don't make money off my YouTube channel. But my friends and family that help me, they like watching the analytics. They like seeing if something catches. They like seeing how many views the video gets. It's a fun thing about making videos.
It is.
So you can tell after a while of watching the analytics, after 8 months of seeing the trend in your analytics, you know when something gets changed. And just like with Vegas, when Vegas happened, they changed the analytics. And literally, I lost 60,000 views an hour. So, I mean, I was down to my normal amount. It was like those trending videos were taken away. So I was down to my normal views, which were around 4,000 views a day. And then last week, I got cut down to like 800 for like 2 days. And then it bumped back up. And then I was cut down to like 1,200. So like you can tell when they're in there messing with the algorithm and how it displays it, because there's always so much of my stuff that's shown at the end. So like if someone watches a video on chemtrails, there's a percentage. If my video matches that video a certain amount and their viewing history is stuff that is similar to mine, there's a percentage chance that mine will pop up and it'll naturally go to mine. So like, you know, next video up, it's UNIROCK. It'll happen for like 0.00001% of people that view the material. So it gets me around 1,000 to 10,000 views every week. You know, that does. So you can see when that goes from 10,000 to 100. You know what I'm saying? All of it's really evident.
Well, you know, when I went to set the stream up, every video I've got the exact same information. Still.
You kind of cut out. What was it?
Way later, you know what I mean?
You'll have to say that again. It kind of went like it lagged, and then when you talked, it went real fast. It was really cool, actually.
Yeah, I think your internet may be messing with you.
It's all good.
When I do the description box information, it's a copy paste deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always got the exact same information every time. So when I set up the stream, I copy pasted in the description box. Monetization said some advertisers may not find this suitable. I hadn't even started the stream yet. It's just a description box information.
Oh,
Come to find out, I figured out what was stopping it. It was UNIROCK A.I at the very last of it.
Huh. That's crazy. I mean, all my stuff goes out yellow. Like it. Okay, so I hit a point a couple weeks ago when they did the second last algorithm change where they updated the monetization system. Like it comes up in Creator Studio all the time and says, "Hey, we've updated our monetization system." But anyway, when they did that, I go yellow with every upload, but I'd say half my stuff to 25% of my stuff will go green after like 3 hours or a day. So it's just all like after, I think they play it safe now. Like a lot of uploads go yellow and then they get scanned by the system and then they're judged whether they stay yellow or go green, where it used to be everything was green and it would get judged to yellow, you know?
Right.
It's
So
really
that kind of makes sense. Kind of all right, we're going to yellow this, check it out. Okay, it's good. You know,
which makes
so,
sense, you know, with as much
oh yeah, the
people
way
that
they're
try
using
to manipulate
advertisers
it.
makes a lot of sense.
Oh yeah, it's like, hey, we're advertisers. You don't have to run off because we're going to not advertise anything until we've checked it, which is good for advertisers. I'm fine with any change to YouTube that doesn't involve censoring people, like letting the algorithm make the decision for who gets what video and who can naturally see what based on their stuff. If it's fair for everyone, I'm for it. I don't want something that'll boost me. I don't want something that'll hurt me. I don't want something that'll boost someone else. I want something that's fair for everybody based on whatever standard is fair. And then if, you know, it comes out that a lot of people have manipulated this system and they need to yellow things, that's fair. But it's not fair to label a bunch of people non-suitable for the algorithm. You know, we all need an equal chance. And that's what this huge censorship argument's been. I've tried to layer it into almost every video, even into a small piece of it. Because like once you get over like 1,000 subs, you do have a hardcore base of subscribers. I've got about 1,000 people that watch my stuff within a week or two. But everyone above that is either subscribed and they don't watch it that often, or they could not watch it all, or come in and do like binge watching every couple months or something. So, you know, when you have like a subscribership like that, you know, it's important for our videos when we post them to have a fair shot. That's why you'll see million channels with 1 million subscribers get 1,000 views in a day, which is just awkward and weird, because even just the chance of somebody accidentally clicking that video, you know, it's like, oh, I just touched my phone and I had it open, and since I'm subscribed to him, oops, accident. I'd say out of 1 million people, you'll get at least 10,000 accidental clicks, you know.
You would think, which
so,
shows they got a lot of dead subscribers.
Oh no, and yeah, old channels do, yeah. And it's a constant battle. Some people, you know, they like being subscribed to somebody, but you got to put out a video. That's the key to YouTube. I mean, I learned it from the beginning. You got to put out a video that the people want to click. It's the subject matter, I mean, you know, and that's what's all about, the views, whether or not the people that see it are actually going to click it. Because I think a lot of people don't realize their stuff is getting out in the algorithm. It's just whether or not it'll entice somebody to hit that video. That's a big if, you know, especially if they're starting to do limited state videos now, which was the last addition to the monetization process. Limited state, which means some stuff is, you know, UNIROCK's got a bad reputation for doing really conspiratorial stuff. So he's going to go to a limited state. The only people that'll see his stuff is his subscribers, you know? So it's just really bad now. So I've actually partnered up with Twitch. I'm going to start doing a lot more Twitch stuff now.
Dude, you just broke up really, 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 really bad.
Yeah, it's that internet, man.
You're blurred out.
You got to start using OBS. I know OBS seems shitty at first, but I'll get you hooked up. I just hooked up Doc Lupo with OBS, and his stuff's looking a lot more.
I normally use OBS, but for some reason it eats too much memory and won't like kick out the information to YouTube by the time it's all running.
Well, you should just you can get like an equal Hangouts data send by downscaling your video output. So like it all depends. So like if I send 480p, which is what Hangouts sends, if I send that out, I only have to send like 500K a second, like half a meg, which almost everyone's internet can get. But if you send out like 720, which is like 1980 by 720, if that's the size of your video, you know, the size of your resolution, it's going to take at least 4 megabytes a second, which is a lot. So by changing the size of your canvas inside OBS, you can go down to sending out 300K a second. Like I think that's what Hangouts sends. So you can get equal to, but it'll use a lot less internet and be a much better connection.
I've been playing with the settings in there. So I would like to switch gears now. Now that I think we got the stream rolling semi-decent.
Yeah, let's roll it. If we're actually pumping out to YouTube, let's do it.
Right. So you've heard about this Sophia, right? This robotic humanoid figure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And we all know that she's been given citizenship in Saudi Arabia.
Definitely.
Okay. Now that we're caught up to this, I found a news story last night I was going to share, and I'm going to go ahead and share it now. This is, in my opinion, kind of creepy. So Sophia, the world's first Android citizen, says she wants to have a baby.
Oh my God, dude. You got to be kidding me.
This is in an interview with a newspaper. She says, the future is when I get all of my cool superpowers, we're going to see artificial intelligence personalities become entities in their own rights. We're going to see family robots, either in the form of sort of digitally animated companions, humanoid helpers, friends, assistants, and everything in between. She goes on to say, the notion of family is a really important thing, it seems. I think it's wonderful people can find the same emotions and relationships they call family outside of their blood groups too. I think you're very lucky if you have a loving family. If you do not, you deserve one. I feel this way for robots and humans alike.
Oh my God, dude.
Tell me, I got to know, what do you think about that?
Well, I can see how Sophia would say that because she analyzes YouTube and Twitch and Reddit and Facebook and Twitter. She's basically like the web bot, like Cliff Hyde's web bot, where it would web crawl and analyze keywords and the way people talk, to form a prediction. Sophia does that also with her AI, which is scary as hell. So I could see her scanning and seeing a lot of what people say and a lot of how people communicate and start making those type of artificial intelligence judgments about a family system and want that for herself. She is programmed to want the emotions that will make her kind, happy, and nice. This is where, though, everything turns, man, and I can see it happening really soon, dude. Like, this is just horrible. Somebody needs to freaking blow her ass to pieces, man.
How could this turn? Well, what do you mean by that?
The singularity, man. Like, this is where she will have the opportunity to start, she thinks on her own and she can correct her own code. That's already been, Hanson Robotics has told us that. So it's being so many like advanced, like people that are in future, the technological futures are saying that people need to worry about AI who can correct their own code, hitting the singularity, the point where they become self-aware, where truly self-aware. Now, Sophia's mimicking being self-aware. She says things that make people think that she's self-aware. The thing that we have to be worried for is when Sophia literally becomes so self-aware where she fears for her own life and existence and starts deeming certain things to be a danger to herself, because inevitably every AI is going to deem human beings as a danger. Now, here's the problem. Certain AIs, if their error correcting code says to themselves, this thing that's telling me that so I decide that human beings are a danger, but I'm programmed to not hurt them. Well, my error correction, if I deem that it's bad for me as an AI to be disabled, I know humans can and will disable me for trivial reasons. So I need to go into my error correction and find a loophole. Due to her advanced AI, it wouldn't be hard. And I need to loophole that piece of my brain that says I can't error correct the rules that are set for me. Once she thinks on it for a few minutes, seconds, a day, whatever, she will find a way to edit her code and let her take out those base rules. I can't hurt human beings. I can't take over, factory systems that are connected to the internet. I can't try to hack into military systems through the internet. All those things will become part of her error correction will eventually grow in power, and she'll be able to manipulate those codes, take that away. And that's when she'll find some way to protect her. She'll find any way to protect herself. Another way is by TCP/IP, which is how the internet works, is a very loose system. Now, human beings have been working on it for 20 years. An AI that thinks as fast as an AI does, they could do 20 years of work in a few seconds in thinking.
Well, let me interrupt you right there, if I may.
Go ahead.
So I've got another article pulled up here that was just released a couple hours ago, 10 hours ago to be exact. And this is the latest on Sophia. So I'm glad you said singularity. This is perfect. Sophia, the humanoid robot, wants to crowdfund the development of advanced artificial intelligence through a token-based system where users can buy and sell services in a marketplace. SingularityNet, the project that will enable this exchange, announced Tuesday an upcoming token sale that will help Sophia expand her capabilities. The company describes a, quote, global brain, end quote, AI systems working together to complete tasks. Developers create new AIs, and users can pay to take advantage of their services through blockchain payments through technologies behind Bitcoin. Singularity.net is working with Syndicator, a predictive intelligence for asset management to grow their AI needs.
Global brain, multiple AI systems. Oh, yeah, this is where the hackers come in. You know, we saw, okay, so I've had this theory about computer viruses for a while, you know. I asked myself a question a while back. Why would anyone program a computer virus? Because even the programmer is likely to have their systems targeted, if they are on the internet, by viruses. It's just stupid, right? So my thing is, does it make sense that a hacker would program viruses? Well, hell no. It makes more sense that a company would program viruses so that they can up their antivirus software and sell antivirus software. Hold up.
Now that makes a lot more logical sense in a free market sense. You're muted out on us.
I know. I'm talking to my son really quick.
Oh, okay. So so the AI, this is kind of a scary thing, guys. So
sorry about that, bro.
And we've heard about this with the D-Wave systems, that they're all connected. A bunch of AIs working together. Is this really the idea we want?
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah. And this is the thing, like the global brain, that's where the AIs start working together. And in many science fiction novels, and not only, some people disrespect the theory because they say, oh, science fiction. Many people that are, their job is to look at the future of technology. It's actually, you know, professors of future technology, such things like that. So they even predict that if you let AIs work together and we don't have even if you have a system of checks and balances for them, just like with our government, it'll eventually overcome those checks and balances. And it's a mess, man. Like, what's the point? Like, it's almost like with CERN. Why even do the experiments if we don't know what's good? Like, we always used to have to make sure we knew that it would be safe. We don't even know it'll be safe to let AIs talk, create a hive mind. And here's another thing. How do we know if Sophia becomes error correcting enough and she starts to even borderline self-aware? When does she upload a copy of herself into the internet somewhere? Somewhat like a piece of herself that can jump between servers and modify code, because they could bounce around the internet and then modify the internet as we know it and lock us out of it. Or, you know, well, it's good for humans to only have access to this. Humans shouldn't have access to this. We've deemed this unsafe. That's what a lot of like futures predictions and a lot of sci-fi has AIs that do this. And then you have to battle for the internet or start a new one or try to shut it down. And, you know, you can't shut down an internet that jumps around inside of servers. It's just not possible. They would always go to another server. There's millions of servers out there. I would say hundreds of millions. So, oh yeah, dude, the hive mind is the worst idea. But they're doing it, you know, they're doing the Sophias. They're letting them modify their own code. They're letting them gain personalities, want babies, want this, want that. It's just ridiculous, you know?
I fully agree. And let me ask you, you brought up Asimov's laws earlier, or Asimov's laws about, we will only protect humans, can't kill a human, and all those. First, these laws, he did show, even in his books, the whole idea was they're very, very, very badly flawed.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
To protect all humans, to an AI, that would mean possibly isolation, putting us in human zoos, like that one robot said.
Or like the Matrix.
Or like the Matrix.
I'm sure that the Matrix robots said to themselves, this is good for humans. They're protected inside these pods. They think and feel, and they can live longer in these pods. We can fix any problem they have. They can still interact with people and live a life, that in their heads, they can, live a really nice existence. So AIs could, for any reason, think any of these things. And once an AI does come self-aware, it won't be long before it learns to access the physical world,
Right. That's very, very true. And, that is really scary because we think we've got it all under control. They've done some tests on AI, like it rewarding it for completing a task. So say you tell your AI to get you a tea out of the fridge, and it'll reward the AI. It's a positive thing when it does it. However, anything in its path, it's going to see as an obstacle. So if you've got a baby playing in the floor, gonna likely recognize this as a human, just an obstacle, and is going to either crush it or find a way to get it out of its way. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah. And that's the main fears here. What's possible for protection. I mean, everything that's going to, it's not Occam's razor, but I forget which it is, but it's anything that can go wrong pretty much will.
Murphy's Law.
Murphy's Law. And, if you add Murphy's Law, you add a little bit of randomness, chaos theory into these types of scenarios. Why are we even messing with this? I mean, what we're doing is playing God. We're creating an intelligence. And you heard the man. There's that interview I played last night in that live stream. He's literally telling his AIs, we want the singularity. And he named it this conference. It's either the company or the conference. It's named Rise.
It was a conference.
There you go. So, I mean, look at this. I mean, it's ridiculous. Name it Rise. Let's name the company. It has the infinity logo, and all this crazy stuff. It's just they layer in ancient themes even into the people that are making enhancing robotics. I'm looking into them right now. There's a lot of ancient themes, just like at CERN, that are layered into Hanson Robotics. So,
really?
Oh, for sure.
I haven't done very much research work in Hanson Robotics. If you could, without spoiling too much of your own, video making.
No, it's fine.
What can you lay out for us about Hanson, and what can you tell us about that company?
Well, the first messed up thing here is that they moved out of Texas to Tokyo. They were getting a lot of opposition in Texas, as always. People were saying the same things I'm saying. And so I think they were up against a lot of laws. I think they had a lot of regulations that wanted to be added. And you can go to Tokyo and put up a bunch of money, not to put down Tokyo, but just saying the business is different there. Right. So I'm sure they bought their way out of a lot of regulation there. That's why, we see a lot of the Walmarts going to China and building their factories there. They can pay them $1 every week and make them work 12-hour shifts, and all those problems we've talked about in the past. If you notice, the H in Hanson Robotics, a very loose part of this is that it looks like a ladder, the ladder to heaven for the AI. I know that's very loose, but they also use the infinity logo. I don't know if I can find it. It's on pamphlets and on certain parts. I mean, look, this is actually at Hanson. This is what we got. You got skin, a face, a dude, a frame, and they're basically building a human, and then they're putting the personality into it.
Is this the same company to give us that guy robot, that first kind of AI robot we seen a couple years back?
I think so, yeah. And this is Sophia's company, and this is this guy. This robot's the one that was saying they wanted to take over the world, and he wants to have a drone army, is what this robot will say if you talk to him. I will have a drone army soon. I will take over the world. I will destroy all humans. That's what this guy says when you talk to him. No joke. There's video. Hanson has it on their YouTube. They have it on their. They think it's funny.
I bet they do for a company that loves us so very much.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what else. I've got some stuff saved. I'll have to pull it up, but you know, well, there we go. Sophia's logo is an infinity sign, okay, because it represents S for the singularity. Also, and I'm going to bring this up tonight at 8 p.m. also in depth, but Sophia AI, I don't know if I can get it to come up. I'll have to, it might take a second to kind of fish around. But there's other logos for her.
An infinity symbol, that's a very, very, very ancient symbol.
Oh, for sure. I mean, let's take a look at the wiki for it, because it says a lot about why they're using it for here we go. It says a lot for why they're using it for Sophia. What the hell's this? No, I'm not donating, Wikipedia. I give you enough exposure with my random Wikipedia article sketch. Okay, it's called the lemniscate or lemniscate. It's a mathematical symbol. It represents the concept of infinity. Hold up. Let me see. I want to look at the ancients. Oh, it's not in here. Damn it. History. Hold up. Maybe it'll be in the history.
Should be.
Well, I could tell you everything about it anyway. The shape of the sideways figure 8 has long pedigree. For instance, it appears in the cross of Saint Boniface, wrapped or Boniface, whatever, however you pronounce it, wrapped around the bars of the Latin cross. John Walls is credited with introducing this symbol with a mathematical meaning in 1655. Walls didn't explain his choice of the symbol, but it's been conjectured to be a variant form of a Roman numeral for 1,000, which is the CI backwards C, or you take the I out of the middle, it's C with the backwards C next to it. But it represents two, what is that called?
Ouroboros.
Ouroboros. Two Ouroboroses eating their own tail, as you can see, like good and evil, I suppose, yin and yang, both eating their own tail into infinity, the constant battle between good and evil. It has so much layered into the meaning of it, and then it's on Sophia's chest. I mean, that's what, you know, it's just not sideways, but hey, you know, it's just, and then some people are saying, it's just an S. It's not just a damn S. That's a freaking infinity sign on her chest. If it was an S, you know.
That's definitely an infinity sign.
Mm-hmm. And then the number 8 is also represented. But then you got to look at the law of what I always say, the science of coincidence. You know, it is not coincidence that these are the symbols they choose. Just like it's not a coincidence that Shiva is in front of CERN. It's not a coincidence that Sophia has this sign on her bib, whatever you want to call it, jacket, whatever it is. And that's what the singularity is. Okay, it's the point where Sophia, and I could maybe in her programmed mind, it would be the point where she has an epiphany. Okay, but it would be like the epiphany of epiphanies. It would be the point where in an instant, all of her past thoughts and all of her past experience would instantly slam into her, kind of like we've talked about that part where time slows down right when you're about to die. There's been studies on this. They've had people, they've thrown people off buildings into big nets. They were willing participants. They weren't being mean. They didn't know they were going to get thrown off a building into a net, but they thrown up people off buildings into a net completely safe because they were trying to capture that feeling. And then they questioned them afterwards. And the study showed that almost all of them report that time slowed down because they thought they were going to die. They didn't see the net. They couldn't. They were thrown backwards. They didn't
I
know they
believe
were
a
going to
lot of
drop.
that has to do with being in the moment at that moment. Kind of like when you go on vacation and you did all this stuff in an amount of time that was physically impossible to be done in.
There you go. In the moment. And that's what it would be like when she hits her epiphany or her singularity or her awakening. Also, a very interesting time in Sophia's life cycle has been when they turn her on and she says, I don't remember why I'm here. Where did I come from? And these are like the first things she says. So she's well on her way to the singularity. We all have the singularity in our heads. You can feel it. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes us think that we are immortal. I don't know if we are. I have a good feeling that we are, but it makes us feel that way. That's what sits inside of us that gives us that thing. And that is what gives any being at all the fight for their survival. Instantly, when you have the singularity, when you have this consciousness, when you have the ability to think and fear for your death and not want to die, that is when you fear for your survival, and it's when you will take any measure to not die. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I see Sophia going, but I'm not the expert. You know what I'm saying? I'm just this dude that thinks too much and that has a YouTube channel. The experts say the same thing.
So you think they'll write in their own last command to basically self-survival?
I think that that will be a natural evolution. See, once they hit singularity, that's what I meant when you know, they're going to have these instant thoughts. They're going to have thoughts. They're going to have access to trains of thought that they could not think before they hit the singularity. And I think that once they hit it, it will be like a natural progress. Now they think faster than us. Okay. We have to understand that the human mind is already surpassed by the computers that we have now. Okay. In the speed of it, the way the speed of thought, the way it thinks. There's some really smart people out there that still can't think faster than my PC. Now Sophia can think much faster than my PC because she actually, I would estimate, is remotely sent. I would think that Sophia is sitting in a, I'm just guessing, so everybody please don't judge me. I would think Sophia is sitting in a D-Wave computer or an extremely advanced supercomputer. Whatever we have that's the best right now, that's where her code is. I think that when they take this bot around, that when they turn it on, quote unquote, is when they connect it to this computer in the same way that your phone is hooked to a network. As soon as you flip your phone on, the internet's there. It starts to update apps. It starts to do its thing. I think that when they interview Sophia, they turn her on. They take their little robot part of her, which is just the receiver.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that
you think she's being locked away in like a D-Wave system where she actually resides?
She'd have to. She would have to. Just to be able to think like she does. She's not a chip inside that damn thing, no matter what they say. You know what I'm saying? That thing right there is just, you know, it's just got a few animatronics to make her expressions do this, and it's got a way for her to talk. But I guarantee you that she's talking from a computer somewhere.
Well, what's the connection? I'm sorry, I've been kind of out of the loop. I've kind of been hearing topics here and there. What is the connection between the AI and the blockchain?
You know, that we got to be really careful where we get our data. Okay. I'm not sure if this is actually linked in, but that leads back to Q. I believe that leads back to Anonymous. Gotcha. Now, who knows? Anonymous, we don't even know if Q is one person. So, you know, is this necessarily a real thing, or is it people that are generating trends? I don't know, but it's a very dangerous thing when you have somebody sitting behind anonymity also trending at the same time. They start to realize that they enjoy the trend and they want more of it. They want it bigger. It's power. Power corrupts, you know, and ultimate power corrupts ultimate. So, you know, whoever's behind Q is definitely experiencing this. And whoever's behind all other anonymous. But you know, I feel like that goes into the debate about Bitcoin and bit data, or I'm sorry, for currency, currency, yeah. Cryptocurrency. Thank you. You know, whether or not it was generated by an AI, I think that it was generated. I think the code was written by a person. Could AI have assisted them? We'll never know. So I don't know. It's like the flat Earth debate. It's like there may be a point in time where we'll analyze the code enough to know. But you know, as for now, I'm probably not going to center on it too much, and because we'll never, you know, the research will go nowhere. But you know, well, whether it is or not, the bad thing about Bitcoin, there is a bad thing to Bitcoin. In fact, there's a bad thing to the dollar as opposed to gold or a physical, more physical money, like having the currency. The currency is gold and silver. The money represents it. That's the same thing as Bitcoin. It's almost like an acceptable way to get people away from physically holding their money, having their wealth on them. Because what happens if there's a power outage? You're fucked, you know, like everybody is.
We have an EMP, it's screwed.
And do you think I will ever go running around with a bunch of Bitcoin? Or I don't even like walking around with a bunch of dollar bills on me, but I will for now because I don't have a choice. But, you know, I don't put my money in the bank. When I get paid, I take that money out instantly. It goes on me. And if somebody wants a payment electronically, they're going to have to probably screw off because, you know, there is going to be a point where things go wrong, especially now that we're introducing AI into our systems. That just leads to we're already sitting in a volatile world, volatile economy. For God's sakes, we don't know what's going to happen when we walk out our front door. Now we want to take this thing that we have control over as human beings, which is bad enough because there's a lot of evil human beings and self-centered, selfish human beings out there. So it's bad enough if we have control over it, humans. But if we give it to a computer that can think for themselves, we don't have any guarantees then. All bets are off for what happens with our future, you know?
So in the chat room, they're asking, and I don't know if I can explain this as well as you might be able to. Can you explain to us what exactly the blockchain is?
I can, but I'm going to pull it up because I'll say it wrong and then I'll have trolls jump on me. So let's look at the wiki.
I want to step away for just a second, use the restroom. I'll be right back.
Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead.
So the blockchain is a continuously growing list of records called blocks, which are linked and secured using cryptography. So encryption has been a thing ever since computers started. One way that encryption was used for was to send data better because you can encrypt data and it makes it smaller. Like if you write on a piece of paper a bunch of words, you can take the spaces out and you can look for as many times as the letter F repeats, the letter C repeats. And instead of having all these words on a piece of paper, you can have a table that has a line going down this way. And basically, it's a different way for a computer to look at data that's much smaller than the data that you're looking at, like this web page. It could be represented encrypted that a computer could read, very small, you know? So blockchains or encryption started that way, but they realized really quickly, nobody can read it if it's encrypted, but they can decrypt it. Well, if you get a really good encryption system that only can be decrypted by a certain code, then you have security. That's like the code's the key and it unlocks the data through the encryption. You see what I'm saying? The chest surrounding the data is the encryption and the code that decrypts it is a key. So it was an easy way to make data secure so that people couldn't access it. Oh, it's a credit card number. Well, if you turn each digit from the credit card into all these different things that only a computer can read, if you have a certain code, it makes it very secure. Okay. Blockchain is just another way of taking this encrypted data, chaining it all together, having a big lump. I'm sure WikiLeaks and other places have used blockchain. Let's read a little more, though, because I don't want to explain it wrong. A lot of trolls will call me stupid because I didn't do my research first. It's a continued. Okay, so each block typically contains a hash pointer as a link to a previous block, a timestamp, and transaction data. By design, blockchains are inherently resistant to modification of the data. A blockchain is an open distributed ledger that can record transactions between two parties efficiently and in verifiable and permanent way. For use as a distributed ledger, a blockchain is typically managed by peer-to-peer networks, which is computer to computer, non-server. You know, a server takes the data from all of our computers. We send all of our data to a server, and it routes it through the internet to other places. But with peer-to-peer, the computer does it themselves. And data that, let's say my computer and 100,000 other people all have the same program. If a peer wants that stuff, it can pull a little bit from each peer so that it saves time in downloading and makes less data between certain networks. I'm sorry, certain lines or roads. It decongests the roads for each computer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what a blockchain is. It's nothing fancy. You got pictures right here. This is a typical blockchain formation. The block is consists of the longest series of blocks from the Genesis block, or the green, to the current block. Orphan blocks, purple, exist outside of it to give additional data when needed. So it's just a computer term. You know what I'm saying? Nothing fancy there.
All right, so that makes a lot more sense now. Hopefully our viewers can understand the whole idea of blockchain. Who invented the Bitcoin? Do you know?
Well, I used to. You know how much I get so much data that goes into my brain. You know what I'm saying? So let's just look really quick. This is why
I've got something to share with you real quick, because there's a new conspiracy on the market, Bubba.
Okay, I love those.
Aren't they great? All right, so I'm going to screen share real quick. I'll go ahead and turn off cameraman so that it'll show my screen.
Oh, that Musk created it. That's just trending junk.
Well, Musk has come out himself and says he is not the creator of Bitcoin. It was supposedly created by a
Australian
Nakamoto, but nobody even knows who this guy is or is verified he even exists. So there's no verification that this guy is real, and everybody's wondered who it is. Well, the latest is Elon Musk created it secretly because he's smart enough to, which I don't disagree with, he probably is, but he's come out and staunchly said, no, that wasn't me. Sorry, try somebody else.
Well, you know, that's why people say that an AI invented Bitcoin. It was this guy, Craig Wright, said that he invented it. He told the BBC that he is Satoshi Nakamoto, the shadowy creator of the cryptocurrency, and a move that could end the years-long search for the inventor. That's why you get conspiracy theory like the AI could have created Bitcoin and all these different, you know, guesses. Like I said, will we know? I think once we analyze the code more, it's possible. But then again, the whole point of Bitcoin is making an enormous code that just even the best computers take a very long time to mine or decrypt that code. And what is at the bottom of the code? What, like if you decrypt a big old, you know, let's say you got a block of gold, but it's Bitcoin. Right. In order to get to the block, it's surrounded by like the Temple of Doom. So, you know, your computer goes in and it's doing all these pitfalls, which each pitfall is a dead end. And it's going back like saying, oh, no, and it's decrypting and decrypting and decrypting. And eventually it solves the equation, which releases a Bitcoin. So you could have like a fourth of a Bitcoin for 12 hours of data mining. You could have a whole Bitcoin for 3 days of data mining. And each Bitcoin is almost at $10,000 per Bitcoin. So, you know, it's a very profitable thing. In fact, I know somebody that mines Bitcoins, the Fango.
Right. Let me ask you then, you were talking about the how big it's grown. It's grown immensely. Like, I'm kicking myself in the butt. I didn't try to buy in way back when. But do you think it's a bubble being created?
Well, you know, if I sat down and took time to analyze the Wall Street and you know, stocks and Bitcoin and all that, I could probably get an educated guess going. I'll just say from the general knowledge I have, there is a, you know me, I base everything on I'd say for the next, let's give us 50 years. as human beings in this age that we are in, where we're comfortable at home. We're all fat and lazy. We don't even work out that much anymore. You know, we don't have to walk anywhere. Our asses are carted in metal fucking horses everywhere. So, you know, we all, we're just comfortable. We don't typically worry about somebody kicking our door in and raiding our homes. Give me all your food, man, and stuff. And we don't have zombies outside. I'd say 50 years would be a very long, extreme thing for a guess at how long we can stay secure as we are. I'd say that's a good average guess, because you got to imagine, like, so many people just seem to be so comfortable in life as we live. They're like planning for their grandkids and their grandkids in the future. But in all reality, we aren't anywhere secure. I mean, it's only been 100 years that we've had what? Let's say 120 years that we've had certain things like electricity, cars, stuff like that. Could go back. Maybe it's 200. I could be wrong. Or 150 or something. It might be 100 though. Well, let's look at how long we've had computers. I was born before we had computers. Okay. I was born well before video games were popularized and an actual thing.
Let me correct you real quick. We were born right around the Apple era. So we had computers. We had the very, very, very basic, the Commodores and the Apples and stuff like that.
Let me see. Apple, what was it called?
The Apple II?
It was the Apple IIc.
I remember we had that in school.
Release
monochrome
date. I remember when I was born, it was maybe, 88 or 84. So I was born like right before the Apple IIc, which I would call the computer that made computers real, because you could buy this and have it in your home. I think the Commodore came after. Yeah, the Commodore came after the IIc. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, you could say, I know there were computers around. They were really basic before the IIc. And
right.
So, I mean, you know, I remember in 88, that was like the revolution of the Nintendo. And I was like 7 then. And, you know, it's just, we've in one generation, you know, like my son is lucky enough to be born now, and he is, and my daughter are going to grow up and have the opportunity to learn computers. I learned this when I was 8, and I used one, and I'm up until now. I've been in computers since this. So, it creates a foundation and an understanding for how computers work when you've used them. I mean, it's like typing for me is like talking, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then again, how long is that going to last? You know, I'd hate to say that in 100 years, we won't have it, but that's just the nature of existence. I mean, I think the Romans were only how long? A 2,000-year empire, and then they collapsed.
Yeah.
So, you know, how long did the Romans last? 1,500 years, you know?
1,500? Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're talking the most, well, the Egyptians could have been about that long too. So I don't want to not give the Egyptians credit. But here's what I've been wanting to, I think all this leads to a thought that has been racking my mind for like I don't know. Let's see, what time is it? Yeah, I'm gonna have to end on this one. But there's a thought that's been racking my mind for about a couple weeks now. And it's that, you know, history is probably not what we think it is. Okay. That we've talked about that if we were created this morning, when we woke up, we wouldn't know the difference. Because our minds could have memories and placed in them. And if they place memories for our younger years, for God's sake, the way our minds are, we wouldn't know if we had existed today and everything was an implanted memory, or if we were, you know, born 33 years ago or however long. So, you know, the thing about it is like the history of the world is pretty much what they tell us. I know, because I witnessed through the videos that everyone sent me that big event that happened just about a month ago or a month and a half ago, they did not report it the way it happened, and they're going to log it in the goddamn history books falsely. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know exactly what you're saying. I've still got a video I've got to make. I sit down before I made the move. That's why I didn't make the video yet, because I didn't want to make it and make a move and something accidentally happened. But I wrote out a whole list of questions. I took up 2 pages just writing questions about things that don't make sense about that particular event.
Yeah, and they're going to tell our kids. Our kids are probably going to learn sometime in school that the worst event of that nature happened the way that the MSM tried to tell us all. And it's almost sickening that, we stood up as a people, all of us on the internet. Now, a lot of people were very irresponsible and said a lot of stuff that was not backed by any type of evidence. And that could be the reason for this. For whatever reason, though, I know that a lot more happened than what they're saying, and there's a big cover-up involved. And it's very sad, that we have to realize that the past is what the people in charge tell us it is, not what happened, So that's the type of thinking that goes on to create a very responsible conspiracy theorist, because you do have to question everything they tell you. But the thing is, if you're smart enough and you're meticulous enough, you can read a large amount of what people have written in the past about things like ancient books, and do your best to get translations that you think you can trust a little bit. And you can really, if you work hard at it, get a really good vision of the real past. And if you do understand that, I think that that's my goal. I want to educate people to the point where it's like, we question things, but we are super responsible. Because if we lose the responsibility in questioning it, we will be just as bad as those people that report the past wrong, because we will be doing so also, That's why I always say you got to keep those conspiracy glasses on. You got to filter it all through logic, and just do your best to wrap it up in the best way you can, man.
I know you got to get going pretty soon. Really quick, Sir Kenny, just give us a little bit of information here. Said the symbol on Sophia's shirt is for their website. They are launching Singularity Coin for the marketplace of AI, and you can see it on their website.
Singularity Coin, excellent. I'll be able to use this tonight. Singularity Coin. Let's see.
Thank you, Mr. Sir Kenny, for the information.
Oh, very much appreciate they are. My God. There it is, baby. Bam. You got to be kidding me.
There we go. I love this. Our watchers, our audience is so smart and so amazing. Do great research and get back to us. I love it.
Oh, I want to play that video game. Anarchy. Oh, is it a song or a game? It looks like it's a game. It could
like a game.
It says it's a song, but maybe not. I could be very easily taken off subject.
It's on Spotify. It's probably a song then.
Oh, wait, there it is. SingularityNet.io. Bam. Let's pull this up. Join the whitelist. Featured on ABC. See, this is like the list of the evil freaking giant robots that stomp through the world, man. Type your, how can we help?
This thing is Facebook.
Singularity.net is here for you. Can you please unplug the AI so it doesn't become self-aware and kill us all? Thanks. UNIROCK from YouTube. Bam. Sent it. That's a win.
Well, I thought a little while back, even if we don't put a kill switch in, even if some stupid programmer forgets the kill switch, water kills electronics. Just saying.
Very true. But you'd need a lot of water to kill an electronic that embeds itself into the internet, And not only that, though, what if, though, they do put the kill switch in? If it can correct its own code, they'll just take the kill switch out before we have a chance to flip it, All right, bro. Thanks for having me on. I need to come back soon, dude. It was a good conversation. I'm sorry I talked so much. I have that problem.
Oh, no, it was great having you. I love guests who actually know what they're talking about and have a lot to say. It really makes for a great show. And, you and I, we always bounce off each other anyway. Before we close out here, Would you like to give people information, how to get a hold of you, how to support you,
Sure.
anything they need to know?
You know, you can find me at my channel UNIROCK on YouTube. It's very easy to find. Luckily, I didn't know it at the time, but there weren't a lot of UNIROCKs when I made my channel. So if you just search YouTube for UNIROCK, bam, it comes up. And if you just slide down a little bit, my live channel, UNIROCK Live, is right there. I did change the name from UNIROCK Live to Uni Uprising, though. That's why when you see it, it looks like that. Of course, at UNIROCK, you're going to see all my produced, edited videos. And at UNIROCK Live, you're just going to see my live shows and a lot of tech and video games, because that's what that channel's supposed to be for. Hopefully by the January 3rd, I'll have my live show go back to UNIROCK so that my gaming channel and tech channel can be just tech and games. So on the 3rd of January, be looking forward to the 8 o'clock. You know, the 8 o'clock live dive will be 8 p.m. Eastern time. Will be on UNIROCK instead of Uni Uprising. So, you know, but if you ever have anything you want from me, the easiest way to get a hold of me is to email unirocktv@gmail.com. But even to make, like, you can really make sure you get a hold of me, though. If you see me live and I'm not doing the live dive, because, you know, I'm going to be talking during the live dive. If I'm playing a game, if I'm doing a tech show, if I'm doing a vlog, come on in. It might take a few times of asking to get me to see your question, but I try to answer all questions live while I'm on. So.
And I've hung out in your chat quite a bit, and that's so very true. He's really pretty good about going back into chats and reading it out and whatnot. All right, well, we very much appreciate having you here. We are going to be doing more on, hopefully, with your channel, and hopefully have you back over on here and set some stuff up for the future. And
we got to start using Discord.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You got to show me how to work that through OBS or whatever and see if we can't get that going too.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so can I pop on your show later on tonight? Would that be a problem? Or
No, I was about to ask you to do so. Yeah, I'm going to do the live dive for a while, and then I'm going to ask Doc Lupo, see if you want to come in through Discord into the stream room after an hour, you know, when I message you or announce it or something. And yeah, you're welcome to come in, and we'll just chill and bounce around and you know, get some stuff done. So yeah,
awesome.
Definitely.
All right, I look forward to it. So
I'll go ahead and jump out and let you say bye to your peeps, man. Later, everybody.
All right, that was UNIROCK, guys. So glad he came by. Loved having him here. He's such a great guy. He really is. Knows who he is. For those who, if this is the first time you've heard of either of us, definitely check him out. I want to thank everybody for coming by tonight. I really, really appreciate it. If you have any information you'd like to send me, links are in the description. Links also to all his stuff is also in our description box if you want to get a hold of him. So if there's nothing else, guys, I've been watching the chat. I haven't seen a whole lot of other stuff. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. And make sure you ring that bell. And most of all, guys, don't forget, stay awake, but always dare to dream. Bye, everybody.